Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today it's a very exciting episode. As you know guys, we've been doing the van conversion for the past 6 months, and unfortunately for the past few weeks the weather's not been that kind to us, hence we had a little bit of a delay. But the reason it is rather exciting because we're literally that close of finishing our project, and the last thing we have left to do in terms of the big jobs is installing the hob. So Karinear is one of our sponsors, kindly offered us a really lovely induction hob. This is a 2-burner. It's got quite a lot of information or quite a lot of interesting things that's going for it, which we'll have a look later on. But the point today of the episode is, firstly, thank you Karinear for supplying us this hob, and secondly, we have a job on our hands to now installing that. So this hob is specifically an induction hob, as I said, and the reason we've gone with the induction is basically because we've got a little one, and when you're in a cramped space, you kind of want to make sure that it's all kind of safe. And the beauty of the induction hobs, they don't actually get that hot, so you can be cooking something, and if you take the frying pan or saucepan off, the induction hob is cool to touch, which is in our instance is absolutely perfect. So guys, without further ado, we shall get started. So we're gonna get this beauty out, see what it looks like, have a look at the measurements, and then get on to it. So now, without further ado, let's get this out and have a look. I'm super excited because on the pictures it did look rather amazing. So let's get this out. So we have ourselves a manual, which we'll obviously have to refer to have a look for. It tells us actually by the wattage as well. We'll have a look at that later on. Let's just get this beauty out. Here we go. So, right, looks like we've got a scraper, fixings, we've got some foam to be able to stick it on. So again, we'll deal with that later on. It's dinky. Again, for us, as you know, we're installing this in a 40 centimeter cupboard. So the width of that one is 30, which will fit nicely in the cupboard that we need. Oh. Something fun about opening the new things, especially gadgets. Love it. Right, okay. Get it out of the bag. Oh, look at that. There we are. That is superb. I'm going to show that you can't see this as reflecting, but you can see in a minute. So basically, yeah, the idea is it's going to be fitted in roughly here. We already have the electrics and stuff installed down in the cupboard, and then we're going to have the workspace there and a hob here. The beauty of that, my controls are here. Ooh, and then embossed as well, which is amazing. So anyway, so yeah, without further ado, I'm going to get the professional in to do the job. Let's do it. Right, so the next step, right, is of course have a look at the manual. So one of the things to point out with the hob, it does tell you that your worktop has to be minimum 3 centimeters. Ours is 4, which is absolutely fine. I assume that's to do with the clips to make sure you can actually properly clip it down and hold it in place. Anyway, as well in the instructions, it tells you, right, for the correct model number, which this one is KNI 302S1BS. It gives you the internal dimensions for us to cut out. So apparently we need to measure up the 27 across and a 49 lengthwise. So we've put up the masking tape, measured everything out, so we centralized everything from the either edges where the cupboards end, from the top and from the front and from the back. So it's all now centralized nicely, so all masked up. So the next thing is to get the jigsaw and cut it out. So there we are. Right, it's all now cut out. One hole, one big hole. So now let's see if we can test this out. Look at that. Nice. So, right, the hole is cut. We have tested it in and it fits perfectly. So now we wiped it, got it upside down. So this is what it comes with, like a sealant padded thing to go all the way around. And obviously those clips to clip it to the worktop. So we've got a screwdriver. Next thing, we're going to just alcohol that to make sure we kind of clean all the grease, stick that on, and then Mr. Daniel will be screwing that on underneath, and hopefully this hole will be a really lovely hob, which I'll show you when it's in. So, right, the clips are in. So the next thing, I suppose, is to just pop it back in.
Well, let's take this off of here now. We use scissors. Get rid of that. And there we go. So,
Do the honors, Mr. Daniel.
yeah, then I will. It's that way around. Sure those are in.
It should go. Look at that. Okay, just need a nice polish up.
Yeah. We'll just centralise it.
Yeah.
Make sure we're central. Mind you, it looks pretty good as it is.
It does indeed, yeah.
So get the fingerprints off.
And we'll have a plug it in and have a play. So it is now in and fitted. I'm super, super excited. So next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to grab the pot of water, because this is the best way I can probably demonstrate and play around with the hob, and turn the camera around, and we're going to have a look at the instructions. It's a flexi zone, which is really, really good. So it means that we have two zones and we can combine them, which is, in our instance for the camper, seems like a very, very good idea. And I'm going to show you the controls and what I can do basically. So let's go. So there we are. Look at this. We are fully installed. So we can see here, so you've got just some markings there to tell you, obviously, caution, hot. So you've got your zone, flexi zone, you've got the top zone, the bottom zone, and obviously the all one together. You've got the controls here, all right, which I'll go through in a second. You've got the sticker that tells you how to select the best, like, saucepan size to make sure it fits, so you're not wasting the energy. And in the book here, right, it shows us, so the hob, so you've got the zone 1, 180 by 180, 1200 watts. Zone 2, 180 by 180, 1600 watts. And then you've got the flexi zone at 2500 watts. And then if we look in here, right, so it explains us the buttons. So those two that we have says it's heating zone selection controls. And then we've got number 8, which is the extended zone control. 10 will be the pause, you've got the timer, you've got the child lock, and this is the power button. So let me just put the saucepan on here. I'm actually going to put this on the top. Let's put it on. All right, so let's select, assume that'll be this one. And then we've got controls here to select. You can either press it or you can move your finger about. Here we go. We're moving about. So let's put this on that. So we can hear this now coming on. You can hear it ticking, obviously it's a contact. See, the beauty of the induction zones, they seem to heat up really, really fast without making the surface really hot afterwards, which is brilliant. So anyway, so that's now selected. So this will be the mutual combined zone there. So if I just press that, we've got pause. If we just hold on, come back to that one again. Let's put this on. So here. So this is the pause button. So if you're stopping, here we go. Paused. So I should press that on. Timer, obviously you've got the controls here, so if you do press time again, and then you basically use that to select your timers as well. Something just to get used to that, but you can see, yeah, work with that. So get rid of that, and then you've got obviously the child lock, and then we undo that. You hold that. Here we go, and that's it really. This is pretty much self-explanatory. I do love the idea of having those things a little bit embossed, so you're not just going to rub them off when you do with the over the long time of usage. You can see, hopefully, they're just engraved, which is really, really good. But genuinely, there is. It's now cooking. Fans on. It's all good. So it's pretty good. Obviously, I have to take this off, but you can see, right? For us, for the van, perfect. Have controls up here. Saucepans, because you do have the flexi zone. If we are cooking something on the bigger frying pan, obviously you have to make sure that it goes there in the middle. But other than that, it's a perfect little size for our little van. So guys, there we are. This is accomplishes our task for today. I'm gonna say I'm really happy with this. This obviously takes a little bit getting used to because all the hobs are different and the controls are different. But because controls are right in front of us rather than on the side, this is where a lot of times you seem to have a problem with the hobs. This one is designed for obviously the smaller kitchens, and in our instance, this is absolutely perfect. The whole fact that we do have the combined flexi zone, I think, is a benefit for us. Anyway, purely just for the instance of the camper van conversion. And then generally, the whole fact that it doesn't get really, really hot afterwards for safety, security. For me, that's absolute bonus. But other than that, it's a great little hob. So of course, guys, I'm going to put all the information and details about the hobs below. Check the Karinear website, guys. They do have different hobs. I've got one of the halogen hobs. They also do like a fridge for your car, portable fridge, which we use when we used to go camping and going to France. They do all sorts of things, and they are things that are really, really well priced, and they're really, really good quality as well. So otherwise, guys, well, thank you very much for watching that. Thank you very much, Karinear, for supplying us the hob, and we shall see you in the next video. Bye bye.